Hey everybody, Vicky in the car. I got my bro Stefan.
What up, what up?
Alright, so icebreaker for you. Jet or Ebony?
What?
Jet or Ebony?
Oh, the magazines.
Yes.
I don't know, I don't read either one. I want to go with...
Did you?
I never read them. I want to go with Jet because my cousin was in it.
Okay, I'll go with Jet too.
One of them.
First question. Have you ever been on a blind date?
Yeah. No, I had to think 'cause it's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, I have. You know what I'm saying? I was over at the minute I walked. I was about to turn around. I was texting my homeboy like, because he set it up. And I was like, so I had to fake it. It was rude, but I faked it. She had a phenomenal time, but I was just like, because, you know, I don't like being rude to, like, mutual friends, you know?
Right. So do you feel like that is a, way to meet people? Would you prefer
For me, no.
No, it's a little awkward.
I need to know what I'm getting into. I need some type of something before I just, jump in before, because my facial expressions, I can be rude, and it's not good. If I'm not interested, you'll see it. It's just in my demeanor, and it's real hard for me to fake it, and then I want to give that person a good time, and it's not fair to them because they're gonna be like, oh, he's a great guy, and I'm like,
I'm out of here.
get me out of here.
Would you do speed dating?
No.
Why?
Because I like the person. That person next to me is not getting this time. So, we're gonna have to tell we gotta get up and go somewhere else.
I think you can be like,
that's not enough time.
Okay, we're done.
What is that, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, something like that?
30 seconds to a minute.
And she looked good. It's gonna take me that 30 seconds to get my first words out.
Do you believe in the saying, once a cheater, always a cheater?
No. Because I've seen people come back from it. Or they cheat on one person, but they didn't cheat on the other person that they fell with. It may just be they weren't interested in that partner. But I do know some people who have that bad habit. That's a demon that they need to battle. But.
Right. So that goes along with this question. So what are your thoughts on when people say all men do this or all women do this, especially when you meet a person or you're dating?
I laugh at it because it's somewhat true, but it's not. We as men have their habits and women have their habits, and it's a lot of women who show similar characteristics,
right.
And it's men who do the same thing, but it's how much do you like that person, are you going to put up with that, are you going to communicate that? I believe but not all of us do it with the same intention as the next man.
Right.
It's some men who it's times where I would told I don't listen. It's not that I don't listen. It's just sometimes girls approach me I'm this type of guy, and I just be like, yeah, whatever. Because I know I'm not that type of guy, so I kind of just blow it off. But it's become an issue. But it's not my intention to not be a listener or get sidetracked. That's just men. That's just God's spirit.
So you say it too. You'll say all men.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
True,
We suck at some stuff. We definitely suck, and there's some things about women that's what you doing,
familiar, yeah.
That's very familiar, and it may be something different, but it'll be same outcome.
If you're at a wedding, you hear this, and now you may kiss the bride. This was brought to my attention that you shouldn't kiss a person until your wedding. What are your thoughts on that? When you're dating, is that what that word is saying? Okay, now you can kiss the bride? Or you think it's okay to kiss while you're dating?
I mean, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to?
Not supposed to, but people still do it. I mean, not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but to me, it's I don't know how to describe it, because I'm a kisser, so it doesn't really it does. That's not my end all be all attachment. I mean, that's just it. I can't describe it, but you know, I guess it just depends on the person. But
Right.
if we can refrain from kissing because one person may take it as, you know, the start of a relationship or start of something, and to somebody else it could just be a little something. You know what I mean? So I guess, I mean, it all depends on the person. That's just something that those two specific people should communicate.
Right. I never thought of it or looked at it like that. Like, shouldn't kiss until marriage. Until somebody said that. Like,
I didn't either,
but maybe that's what it's saying. Like, and now you may. Like,
yeah, because I mean, hey, yeah.
maybe we need to change our thinking about that. I don't know. So with dating with no sex before marriage, do you think it's possible or even okay, like, to have like somebody sleep over or like be in the same bed, like with everybody's on the same page of no sex? It's not living together, it's just like a sleepover.
I know what you mean. I've been in that. I mean, I'm sure we've all been in that situation before. I've been in a situation where I slept in the same bed and nothing happened. But it was like I said, that's a kind of a communication thing. You kind of can get that vibe from somebody. I think when you start thinking about it, I think that's when, or I mean, if you got alcohol in your system, yeah, something's more prone to happen than when if you guys are like just sleeping in the same bed. Like, all right, we're on a, you know, I won't say we're on the journey because it doesn't even have to be two people on that specific journey. It could just be period, and stuff not happen. But if you really trying to be on that no sex, I wouldn't recommend it, especially like if you have some feelings, you feeling weak in the moment, I wouldn't recommend it.
Right.
I wouldn't do it.
All right, so I've heard that you can meet a person, date them, be engaged, and get married all in a year. Do you think that's possible, or you think that's like rushing things?
It depends on the people. It depends. Because I've seen it. I've seen people wait 10 years. I've seen people wait a couple months. It all depends on, you know, the two people and where they're at in life and how vulnerable they're being toward each other. Like, I definitely think it's possible. I don't want to say you should put time limits or, you know, when are we really ready for anything? Like, if you can meet somebody, and especially if like you've been through some stuff and you meet this person who's just like, I don't want to say everything because nobody's perfect, but you feel like, you know, in your mind they're not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere, then I mean, you might as well do it. Like, I don't see the point of waiting. Like, when I see people wait more than like 3 years, it's like, okay, what are you doing? Even at a year and a half, I think at a year and a half, you know if you want to marry somebody or not. Right. I don't see the point of waiting longer than that. If you wait longer than that, then you still peeking and keep your options open.
You're not sure. Yeah,
you're not sure. You know, what are you really in a relationship for? If you just playing house, like,
that's true. So it is possible. But some people might look at it like, oh, they're rushing or that happened so fast. But especially if you're doing it the right way and you're not having sex, then that's more reason to like push the date.
I mean, I mean, even if people are like, I've seen people who just were dope together and just vibe. I mean, it all depends on the two people and where they're at. They both looking at each other like, yeah, you are everything I want. I'm not going anywhere. We can just do it. And I think it's when people start really thinking about it and be like, oh, marriage, and looking at marriage as like this locked down, this end all. I mean, it is, but if you look at it from a negative standpoint, like, oh, marriage, oh my God, then you're gonna push it off. But if you're like, yo, I really love this person, I'm really feeling this person, you know, we're both helping each other grow, we're both this and that, then go for it. If you want to do it in a month, go for it.
Did you say a month?
Yeah, go for it a month, go for it. I'm not knocking it. I'm gonna kind of laugh at it, thinking crazy, but hey, if you really in love with this person, you know this is it.
Right. And I seen somewhere they said, like, if you know, you know. Like, when you know. Like, so you probably get those vibes anyway. So if you feel something, then I wouldn't say a month, but might be a little too soon because that
I know.
representative is still hanging around. You gotta at least wait 90 days. 90 days, the representative comes out.
But it takes me a couple months to get to know people, but then, it all depends on the person.
Okay, last question. So, mostly in the church side, we talk about accountability. Everybody have like accountability partners, or you have somebody that you look up to that holds you accountable in certain situations. So, when do you think accountability is like more than accountability?
Kind of like when it started getting like, you can share some stuff, but I think it's some stuff that you should be able to. It's one of them unspoken. I feel like that's an unspoken like line.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to be in that. Like you don't. I want you to be accountable, but know your boundaries. Like I don't need you in every single thing I'm doing.
Right.
Like I'm still growing to make my own decisions. I don't need you clocking me 24/7. I don't need you. I need you like be a motivation, but not my parent. I got 2 parents already. I don't need a third. Like like if I hit y'all, I'm being weak. Like it's cool to check in, but if you're like constantly, it's like, all right, I get you. I appreciate you, but now it's like, but it all depends on different people. I feel like for me, if somebody's constantly on my back 24/7, it's not let me give any breathing room, or like they feel like the smallest thing they feel like they need to say something, or I'm like, oh, then it's gonna just be like cut off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So do you think that like those accountabilities that could be like over the top, thinking you're a parent, do you think that like stops a person from growing because like they're always in it? So like,
yeah, you gotta go through something. You have to go through some type of something by yourself, because you need to feel it. You need to grow. Like you need to hit. I believe. I hate to say it, but you have to hit rock bottom with something in order to really get it. Like people who never really hit rock bottom or is constantly have a helpline, I don't think they'll fully get. They'll fully understand who they are. I've been in situations like where I want to say on my own, and I purposely didn't tell my parents because I wanted to get myself out of it. So it's like, I know who I am. I know when it gets real, that hustler comes out, and it's like, all right, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna make it happen. Right. Of course, I'm gonna pray about it first, but I'm gonna make sure I'm good, because I don't like being at the bottom. I don't like that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like everybody has to go through something. That's why, like you see, I can relate it to sports. Kids, you get your city kids and your county kids. City kids, they've been through a lot, so they have more. They're hungry.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're hungry, you're gonna figure out how to make things happen. When you never really been in those situations, you don't know how to operate.
Right.
You don't know who you are, so
that's good.
You need to hit rock bottom with something and figure it out on your own. You can't always ask for help, or you're not really going to understand it, because there's going to be another point in life where, like, what you're going to do when you really don't have help, or your help isn't there. You got to be able to pick yourself up. If you can't, you won't make it in life. Right. It'll be very hard.
So there's a line between accountability and like just being like a parent.
So it's just like, it's somebody
boundaries.
Like, you can kind of help the person not get to that point, but if some people have to slip, some people have to learn on their own. Like you can't. We don't want to see another person going through some stuff, but they really have to learn on their own. That's how I am with my friends. Like sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough for them, like being accountable enough, but at the same time, they still have to figure things out on their own. Like, I'm here if you need me. I'm not going to hold your hand. Right. But if you need that helping hand, I'm here. Like, that's what I would expect from my accountability. Like, not somebody who's going to constantly be like a parent and like, hey, man, like, I got this. Let me figure out how to, let me figure out my strength on my own. At some point, like, spot me. Like, we had the gym, spot me. Let me see if I can get this weight up by myself before you come on and trying to help me out, lift the bar. Like, let me dig in and see if I can really got that strength, like, on the inside.
Right. That's good. Good word. Have anything going on, or you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Not yet, but you can find me on Instagram at Run Tell That. Tell is with a 3 and not an E. That is with a D and not a TH.
You don't have anything going on? I thought you had something going on. Not yet.
So, nah,
it's
about to be a personal trainer. So I'm going to trim down and then I'm going to come help y'all out. I like helping people. So we all going to get fit. We all going to get healthy. These diseases and everything is real out here. People constantly sick. People constantly injured because
heart
of
attacks,
overweight.
young too. Yeah, like it's real.
So I'm going to do personal training and then plan on doing physical therapy. So, we got enough trainers out here. So
right.
I'm going to be a physical therapist at some point, soon come.
Right. That's good. All right, y'all. Stay tuned to the next episode and make sure y'all get this Covered by the Plug merch. Hope Fiend, shout out.
Go Colts.
Boo.